A lot of people are excited about this Imperial officer from Chapter 23 of The Mandalorian, but why is that? Allow me to explain real quick. Captain Gilad Pellaeon was first introduced in Heir to the Empire, the first book of the Legends Thrawn trilogy by Timothy Zahn, released back in 1991. That was also the first appearance of the Grand Admiral. So really, we're just excited to see someone associated with Thrawn, even if we don't get to see the man himself yet. Also, shout out to actor Xander Berkeley, who played the character well and looks exactly like illustrations of Pellaeon from Legend sources. He looks so much like him that when he first popped up on screen, I asked aloud, "Is that Pellaeon?" But it was great to have the name confirmed as well. In the canon universe, the character hasn't popped up in many stories. He was in the novel Thrawn Treason, and he was heard communicating with Thrawn in Star Wars Rebels. He was present when the 7th Fleet was attacked by Purrgil, the massive whale-like creatures Grogu saw traveling through hyperspace in Chapter 17. They at least latched onto Thrawn's capital ship, the Chimera, and took it to some unknown location. I imagine Pellaeon and his ship were also taken, but I don't think we know that for sure. At any rate, the 7th Fleet has returned, and Pellaeon wears its crest on his arm. He has many more appearances in Star Wars Legends. I won't talk too much about his role in the Thrawn trilogy and beyond, because at this point, I think that could hint towards spoilers for the Ahsoka series and future stories. If you want to know his Legends history that bad, I'll point you to the video in the cards that I made 6 years ago? No, that can't be right, can it? It's crazy how fast time flies. Anyway, you can watch that, just know it's possible, and I might even say likely, that there could be some similar story beats playing out in the live-action series and maybe Dave Filoni's future movie, if you would rather go in blind. Without spoilers, all you really need to know is that Pellaeon is like the Dr. Watson to Grand Admiral Thrawn's Sherlock Holmes. He is there to ask Thrawn how he anticipated an enemy's actions, and then Thrawn explains to Pellaeon why he's such a smarty-pants, which in turn explains to the audience why he's such a smarty-pants. I'm personally excited to see him on screen for the same reason I was excited to see Cobb Vanth. I love Star Wars books. I've been reading them ever since I watched the original trilogy as a kid, and then that was all I had. No more movies, no TV shows. I had video games and books and comics, and I devoured them all. Heir to the Empire was one of my first Star Wars novels. I remember my friend down the street and I would agree how many chapters we were going to read that night so we could talk about it on the bus the next morning. My first book club. The Thrawn trilogy isn't perfect. It has some weird stuff in it, but I think that's good because I accepted it all as the continuing story of Star Wars. Heir to the Empire and the books of that time shaped my fandom and my attitude towards fandom. Of course, I'm excited to see Grand Admiral Thrawn on my screen, but I'm so glad The Mandalorian also took some time to give Pellaeon the spotlight. He doesn't get nearly the attention Thrawn does, but he was still a significant character in the Legends universe that took part in some major turning points of the galaxy. But that's it for today. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel to keep up with all our Mandalorian coverage, follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and consider checking out our Patreon page for our video reactions and audio commentaries for every episode. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.